Bloody knuckles, ripped shirts, and death threats. Who would have thought this was all to win a rose?
Right? That is just the tip of the iceberg of what happened on last night's Bachelorette. Spoiler alert, of course, Leslie from The Groove. You're dishing on everything. Let's just say when we dish on everything, we mean Chad.
It's become the Chad show.
Chad show, yeah.
It's ridiculous. But I want to give props to the two. Chase was the first one-on-one date last night, and he got a rose, which is great. But of course, there's drama back at the house. Now, last night was part one of 2 nights. It's on again tonight. Back at the house, the group date comes, and Chad's on the group date, and immediately says, "I don't want to go on this date. I'd rather wait till she gives me a one-on-one." He's flabbergasted that she has not done this. So they go to this theater. And it's called Sex Talk. And the guys have to get up and basically in front of a live audience talk about a sex story they've had in their past. They all had fun with it, except for, of course, Chad. I don't want to do that. He has no sense of humor.
Yeah.
Evan, who's the guy who has the erectile dysfunction clinics, gets up on stage and basically takes some shots at Chad, talking about guys in the house that are muscle guys, basically kind of accusing Chad of using steroids. He didn't come out and say it, but that's basically, we all understood that. That did not sit well with Chad, and in fact, they were passing each other in the row in the theater, and Chad reaches back and grabs Evan, who, of course, Chad said, "He pushed me."
I didn't see any of that.
No. He rips Evan's shirt, so everyone's like, whoa, what's going on? Again, another little bit of physical violence that he seems to have. Granted, I do think the guys are obsessed with him and pick on him sometimes too much, but he's super defensive. When things like this happen, he tends to rip on all the guys. So and then I love this. So Chad gets up on stage and says, well, I'm not going to do this, but I need a volunteer. He brings JoJo up and says the guys don't know what's really going on between us, and tries to lay a big kiss on her. And I love her for this. She turns her cheek.
Yeah.
So it just gets, I mean, talk about
rejected.
I was loving that. Well, Chad did not find that very fun. And when they were walking on the backstage, he slammed his fist into the very heavy door.
And that's where the bloody knuckles
comes from. And then he goes right over to Evan and basically says, I can't say exactly what he said, but
there's a bleep in there.
There is, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I get you if you're upset, but dude, wow. Like, now I'm starting to think, did they not do a background check on this guy?
Because we've heard him say that a couple times now, like a death threat of sorts.
Yes. And so like at the cocktail party, first of all, Chad again interrupts when she's trying to have one-on-one time with people. And so I thank God, JoJo says, he just sat down, let me get a minute. He goes around the corner and sits there and whistles while she's trying to have a conversation. So it was just so frustrating.
Yeah.
So then he finally gets his one-on-one time with her. And of course, his side of the story is everyone picks on him. He's the bully. And I'm like, well, there's a reason that people think you're like that. And Evan interrupts. So Evan sits down and basically gives her an ultimatum and says, I want a future with you, but if you keep Chad, I don't want to be here.
Yep, it's a hammer.
Yes, which I'm like, ultimatums never go well.
Yeah.
In the meantime, though, I have to tell you, Chad walks past, I thought it was a person. He walks past and he goes, hey, it's a mirror.
Brilliant.
Of course, that just sums it all up for me. So Evan says this to her. JoJo actually says, I can't make the decision. She decides to give Evan the group rose if he will accept it, which he did accept it. Comes back into the room and Chad, out loud in front of her, said, are you serious? Like, is this for real?
He says, is this a real scenario?
And yeah, basically, and she's like, you're being extremely disrespectful and I don't like this side of you. Now, this is the second time he's showing that side to her. But she seems to, I can tell she likes the bad boys. All the guys in the house are trying to tell her. And so we go back to the house where the cocktail party is supposed to happen. She decides, no cocktail party, I'm going to spend the day with you guys at the pool. Harrison comes and tells them this. As he walks away, Evan goes out, and I kind of felt he was tattletaling a little bit.
That's what Heather said this morning.
I did. I was like, I think Chris knows what's going on. But he says it about the death threats and all that kind of stuff. There's a security guard now walking around the house. Come on. Like, so Chris Harrison talks to Chad and said, I don't know, we're not going to kick you off the show, but you need to approach this with these guys and come up with a solution for it. Well, you know that he is about to boil over, and of course, to be continued.
To be continued.
But as he's walking away, he says, I want to chop all these guys' legs off and put their torsos in the pool.
Yeah.
Second thing about murder in one episode.
So tonight is part 2 of that. There was no rose ceremony last night. We're going to get that tonight.
Yes.
And we're going to see what he ends up saying.
I predict Chad will stay.
You think he's going to stay?
Yes.
I think he'll stay
Absolutely.
too. Yeah,
I'll just go against the grain and say
unfortunately.
he's going. I don't know. I'm just going against the grain.
But Leslie, join us next week. We're going to recap 2 episodes tonight
Yes.
and next Monday. So thank you so much for
Thank
giving us
you.
the lowdown. Love it. And you can watch The Bachelorette again tonight on KGUN-9 and again next Monday. And make sure you listen to Leslie during your drive home on 106.3 The Groove. You can also read Leslie's Bachelorette blog on 1063thegroove.com.